Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable Ms. Anita as a lecturer in this course, and my respectable to all of my beloved friends. First of all, let us give thanks to God for His grace that we can gather in this place. And we don't forget to pray to our Prophet Nabi Muhammad, who has guided us to become better human beings. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Nova Agus Mulia and my student number is 0015. I'm standing here. I want to speak about mental health and the title is Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. Many of us will experience some kinds of trauma during our lifetime. Sometimes we escape with no long-term effect, but for millions of us, those experience linger causing symptoms like flashback, nightmares, and negative thoughts that interfere with everyday life. This phenomenon called post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD is not a personal failing, rather is a terrible malfunction of biological mechanisms that allow us to cope with dangerous experience. Before I explain more about PTSD, I have a video.
What's common with PTSD? It's usually
Yes,
trauma
this video
that
tell about what is PTSD, what the effects from PTSD, and how we can control PTSD.
Because the neglect or abuse is occurring during the extremely vulnerable developmental years, the trauma shapes your development and your personality. It's like you have a fractured self, and people suffering from this can spend years trying to mend the fracture. So unlike a person with PTSD, with CPTSD, you see more behavioral things like relationship difficulties, poor self-esteem, anger problems, mood instability. A person with CPTSD can develop a depression or anxiety, but at the core is the issue of this fractured self that came from a serious emotional disruption during the formative years. So the baggage from all of that trauma ends up being hardwired into you, and this hardwiring affects how you respond to the world.
Okay. Has anyone here been traumatized? Nothing? Okay. To understand PTSD, we first need to understand how the brain processes a wide range of ordeals, including the death of loved, injury or illness, domestic violence, abuse, rape, war, car accidents, and natural disasters. This event can bring on feelings of danger and helplessness, which activate the brain alarm system, known as flight-freeze response. Our heart rate speeds up, breathing quickens, and muscle tense. Even after crisis is over, its elevated levels of stress hormone might for less days, contributing to jittery feelings, nightmares, and other symptoms. These symptoms often fall into four categories: intrusive thoughts like dream and flashback, avoiding reminder of the trauma, negative thoughts like fear, anger, and guilt, and reactive like difficulty sleeping. Not everyone has all these symptoms or experience them to the same extensity and intensity. Genetics, ongoing overwhelming stress, and many risk factors like presenting mental illness or lack of emotional support likely play a role in determining who will experience PTSD. For example, the smell of campfire could evoke the memory of being trapped in a burning house. That then stirs up the same feeling of panic and helplessness as if they are experiencing the trauma all over again. Trying to avoid these triggers, which are sometimes unpredictable, can lead to isolation. can leave people feelings invalidated, ignored, and misunderstood. So, what if we or someone close to us is traumatized? Anybody know? Psychotherapy can be very effective for PTSD, so helping patients better understand their triggers. Social support and empathy are the key to helping and recovery. Yes. Before I close this speech, I found a good quote from Laurel Hamilton. She said, "There are wounds never seen in the body that are deeper and more painful than anything that bleeds." Maybe enough. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.